Sex is the super glue in a romantic relationship. ShobhaaDe didn't bother to sweep it under the carpet at all. She just knocked off the carpet itself and said, forget it, doesn't exist. Shah Rukh is a machine, and a very self-aware machine, highly intelligent, and for himself. Then came the political narrative behind Dhurandhar. That is it a right-wing kind of financed movie?
We are here with the sassy and ageless ShobhaaDe, and the Sensual Self Explorations of Love, Sex and Romance is the latest book from a spicy pen. So welcome to the Rediff podcast.
Thank you. Looking forward.
So what does love even mean these days?
Well, to me, it means really everything. Everything in life boils down to love. There is no substitute for it. There's no other word for it. And without love, a loveless existence is the worst punishment any human being can ever suffer. Honestly, love is everything. Everything. It's the foundation for all the positive stuff in life.
Okay.
Not just romantic love. I have to specify. It doesn't have to be romantic love. It's got to be love, to start with, for life itself. Your own life first, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. So that is a precondition. And the people who are in your life, whether it's your family, your colleagues, your pets, just about it, you to love your environment enough to care. And that is love. It's not, I don't want to restrict my description of love to something narrow. And I don't want to also universalize it like, I'm not Sadhguru to say you must love the universe. No, you have to choose. But once you choose, you commit. Love is commitment.
But, like you say in the book as well, love, sex and romance has changed so much through the years.
Yeah.
So can you tell us, what do you think about that?
Well, to start with, sex is the super glue in a romantic relationship. I don't understand the other versions of a romantic relationship where you are good friends and it's platonic, or you're incompatible in terms of your partnership in bed. Sex is something much beyond two bodies coming together. If you're looking at it as something just like a physical coupling, then it's copulation. It's not love making. Love making involves all of you. It involves your partner's brain, imagination, emotions, tuning into you, and it's your response to your partner in exactly the same way with 110% of your being. If you're going to look at it as something very transactional and something that's, come on, it's part of a relationship formula that's been determined by society, then let's just get on with it and let's just get on with it. No, that's fornication. That's not love making.
But one of the things that you've written about in your book, even though you say that this is the way things are going, but celibacy is also one of the new 21st century mating.
Well, celibacy is now picked as something that sets you apart from the others. I choose celibacy is also making a statement about yourself and standing out in a crowd. And for a lot of people, it seems to be working because the other is not working. Intimacy itself seems to threaten people so much. Physical intimacy the most. So they feel safer with celibacy because they don't really have to engage or give of themselves to another. Or maybe it's self-preservation. It could be that they are more comfortable just being with themselves.
So how do you read the new generation? I mean, what are your readings really?
Gosh, I was about to kind of read Gen Z. I'm told there's Gen Alpha, which is even scarier, and their terminology is a whole language in itself. So I was kind of getting my ears and my mind wrapped around things like breadcrumbing. Now I believe that's old hat already, and there are many much worse ways of describing your state of mind, and a lot of it is so coded. And I guess it's intentionally coded because they don't want their language to be accessible to everyone. And I understand that. Every generation, through the ages, through centuries, created their own language. And they were possessive and proprietorial about it. And language is fluid. It's not written in stone. It's not static. So I like it. I'm going to try and learn the new Gen Alpha language soon.
So what's a new word that you've learned?
There was a whole list of words I couldn't even pronounce because it was actually a combination of words, which, 6, 7. I don't understand what is 6, 7. And I believe there's a gesture that goes with it.
Okay.
Right? Which means I'm okay, I'm neutral, or I don't have any sort of feelings about this. So when someone asks you something and you say 6, 7, it means like you're shutting the person down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had to, show one of an old movie, like, movie of love to the new generation, which ones would you pick?
I would pick Mughal Azam for sure. For the modern ones, I would pick Saiyaara. And from the Western movie, from that bouquet, I would pick Gone with the Wind. For it's tumultuous. It's not just that kind of icky love. I would pick when Harry met Sally. Harry met Harry. Harry met Sally.
Yeah.
A lot of movies, which Casablanca for sure, for its dramatic power, and it's got espionage. It's got so much in it, and an unrequited love story, which are the best kind of love stories. Many, because I watch movies like a fiend. I feed off movies, and I learn so much from movies.
Yeah, and the latest one that's got your attention is Dhurandhar.
Dhurandhar, without a love story. It's like a political bomb. I wasn't prepared for that. I went to watch it as one of those spy universe things. And I also went to watch it because I briefly run into Ranveer Singh when he was prepping for it. We were at a cafe in Alibag, and he was very absorbed. He was with his laptop and he was reading the script. And my husband and I have known him since, he came to the movies. So I didn't want to interrupt him, but he's a very well-mannered young man. So he came and joined our table briefly. He talked about the film without giving the title, but he said he had to beef up for it. He needed to gain 15 kilos and grow out his hair and his beard, and that he was very immersed in it. And that entire week that he had taken off in Alibag, he was prepping for Dhurandhar. He didn't say anything. He can't, and I didn't expect him to, and I didn't ask. So when I watched the film, I wanted to see the physical transformation, but more than anything else, I thought this was an important film because it didn't follow the spy universe fantasy route. It wasn't a local James Bond. It wasn't Tom Cruise. It wasn't any of it. It was a filmmaker telling our stories, many of our stories, important stories, which the younger generation may not even be aware of, like Kandahar. I'm sure a lot of today's kids won't even know what happened then.
Right.
A lot of kids are also vague about what happened during the Mumbai terror attacks, for example. And there were several such that taking contemporary history and making a narrative outfit for today's generation with a larger-than-life undercover agent, who I believe did exist, Major Sharma, I believe his name was, maybe inspired by his life, to me brought home the entire Indo-Pakistan intelligence agencies, how they work. Razi did that too. No, it was a more intimate story. It was a love story.
Yeah.
This was a much bigger scale, and yet not such a big scale. It was specifically Liari and the underworld at that time. And to me, it was also Bhindi Bazaar and the underworld we were dealing with at that time. Lots of parallels. We had our counterparts here as well, and we still do. So, from that point of view, I thought it was very powerful filmmaking. I watched it as just someone who loves cinema. I could relate much more to this than I could to Pathan and things that you see as entertainment. And there, the counter agency and counter intelligence people are gorgeous female spies who are out to seduce Shah Rukh Khan. That is not how it works in reality.
Right.
It works maybe in Hollywood versions of the spy universe. I can remember Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt in that unbelievable film, fabulous. This was real. Then came the political narrative behind Dhurandhar. That is it a right-wing kind of financed movie? Is Aditya Dhar? I heard some very funny stories that is he recruiting people to his point of view? Like he's a BJP recruiting agent who's gone ahead and made this epic, very ambitious film just so that it can be a propagandist film which can be used by the BJP, or he'll get a Padma Bhushan for making it, or some such nonsense. No filmmaker in the world is neutral. No creative person in the world is apolitical. Whatever you say through your work in the creative domain is colored by your personal politics. If he has a political point of view he's projecting through it, so be it, accept it. It does not mean you cannot challenge it, but it does not mean he does not have the right to project it. But to attribute motives, I thought was a bit childish. So, and also to create that kind of, I thought that was manipulative to create Akshay is the bigger star than Ranveer, and it's Akshay who's chewed up the movie, and it's Akshay's dance, which of course was amazing and did go viral. But also the interesting part about Dhurandhar, and I'm sorry to go on and on about it, is how Pakistan has related to it, and how it's the most downloaded movie from Bollywood in the history of Pakistan. I've watched a lot of podcasts where they are not saying, how dare India make a film like this? How dare they project Pakistanis and Pakistani, whatever happens in our country in this degrading manner. They're not saying that. The interesting comments have been, this cast of characters are all they're all Pakistanis. We had all the narratives. Why can't we make a film like that? And it's not just about the money. Then why can't a Pakistani director mine their own stories the way Aditya Dhar has mined these stories? After all, they're all in the public domain. They're not some secret documents that he's talking about. So I was thinking that led me to ask myself is, if, for example, a Pakistani filmmaker were to make a film about Ram Mandir from their perspective, I'm sure it would be equally, controversial for sure, but both sides of the border and across the world, it would raise questions which needed to be raised then, which need to be raised always, as to what happened, because it was a turning point in India's history, the Ram Mandir, what happened there. It shook me up so badly. So badly, I mean, it sounds like a cliche to even say it, but it was a body blow to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, in Dhurandhar, even Hrithik Roshan, he said that, he loved the film, but he didn't agree with the politics of it.
Yeah.
So
though no one had asked Hrithik whether he agreed with the politics of it. If he chooses to go ahead and say, he could just stop at, I like the film.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But Mohit Suri went and said what he did, that he appreciated the movie. Now, you can watch it as just a movie that is made in every which way, even as whether it's the choreography, the way they've used the insane tracks to push the story forward, the casting, which is brilliant, the fact that Ranveer's character in this part of the movie is like a coiled serpent or a leopard who we know is going to strike in when the next part launches in March. This is all a highly intelligent, very calibrated build up to what happens in the sequel or part 2. To think that Ranveer could have accepted playing a sidekick to a gangster in this movie with not much to do, but just his presence was so strong. And to know that we know that he is our guy there, and that he is alert, he's silent, he's watchful, he's absorbing it all. And well, I guess it'll be established what he's doing and how he's doing it, and it's of course all for our country, which is the whole point of making the film, I suppose. But I watched it with a lot of Muslims in the audience. No one was uncomfortable. So to try and demonize our own people by saying that Dhurandhar is the kind of film that must be making them uncomfortable, why should it, is a terrible thing to say. And I don't think that is said without motivation or without design. There is a huge difference between the Pakistanis, and it's their state religion, and to try and equate that with our own people here in India who are Muslims, and say that what do they expect people to do in theaters if there are Muslims in the audience? Should they stand up from time to time and say Mera Bharat Mahan to prove that, hey, listen, we are on this side?
Yes.
It's an awful kind of pressure to put on, really.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yes.
Yeah, terrible.
So while Dhurandhar was like a huge, like one of the biggest hits already, and a great way to end the year. But if you look back and look at the other movies, what are the movies that stood out for you this year?
Saiyaara, for sure, because it spoke a different language and changed the whole mood. And after the toxicity of a lot of the earlier films, where the way the projection of romance and love was despicable, to put it mildly, here came a film.
Like which ones?
Like all it started, I think, with Animal, and then it carried on to all the
Kabir Singh as well.
Which one?
Kabir Singh.
Kabir Singh, of course. I mean, those two stand out, but those were about 2 years old.
Yeah.
And then followed a lot of the others, which were equally awful in their projection of to get a woman's attention, you have to either be violent with her, slap her, stalk her, demean her, humiliate her, and only then, because that is true love, because if she can endure all of that, it means she really and truly loves you. So I thought Saiyaara's music was lyrical and beautiful. For once, you were listening to the words and responding to the emotions, rather than looking at them as the next dance track at a Sangeet. Which seems to be the whole objective of composers these days.
Movie music.
Can it become a viral track, and can every Sangeet for the next 1 year, can people be dancing to it?
Right. What about OTT? What stood out for you? Like recently I saw Mrs. Deshpande. It really,
I haven't watched it, but I would love to.
Yeah.
I was kind of doing a detox from OTT because I get a bit too involved, and then it takes over my life in a way that
for so many hours.
Yeah, and then I become hooked. So I stepped back for about 6 months, and just last evening I wanted to watch something light and frothy and beautiful, filled with very attractive people, and that was Emily in Paris season 5. Of course, it's superficial, and of course it's
just fluff.
But it's gorgeous fluff.
Yeah. Right.
So I have no problem, and I'm still in love with the chef, so it doesn't matter.
We're all rooting for him, right?
Yeah, like Emily doesn't get him, I'll go there myself and grab him. But to talk about political cinema, which is like, sorry to keep going back to Dhurandhar, but it is a matter of concern. If you're trying to compare it to Kashmir Files or to the Kerala Story, these are very different films. Those are out there, and they're saying what they have to say in unambiguous terms.
Yes.
This is also spectacular, and it's an entertainer at the end of the day. It's a mass entertainer. And if there is messaging, it's not hitting you over the head with a hammer. Huge difference.
And it's also got the biggest star of the country in it. Like, it's not Kashmir Files where there are lesser known actors.
Well, yes, Ranveer had his stardom a little dented, but it's wonderful to hear women say, that they are watching him in Dhurandhar as Hamza, not for his biceps but for his hair. I mean, it's leading to a lot of hair envy with women wondering what on earth is Ranveer, what is he using, what shampoo, what conditioner, because it was all about the hair. Yeah, and the biceps, well, yes, the biceps, of course, but hair won.
So who are the actors, like the younger generation actors that, that impress you?
I actually am rooting for Kartik Aaryan the most, because I find him a very versatile actor, a very watchable actor, very natural in his skin, and there is a sense of purpose to the kind of roles he picks for himself. He hasn't received the kind of success I think he deserves. I don't know about the next film. It doesn't look that promising to me, but if it works for him, well, why not? But I think he's one of our underrated stars, as is Shahid.
Okay.
Also, but Shahid has had his 10 years.
Right. Yeah. So, if we talk about the women, the actresses today, they are, I would say, very different from the earlier actresses, in the sense that nowadays, if Deepika wants her full pay, she will ask for it, and she will get it. If she doesn't want to work for how many ever number of hours, she won't.
Well, in that category, there'll be Deepika and there'll be Priyanka. I don't see too many other girls being able to negotiate those kind of terms. They'll immediately be replaced and they'll look for someone else. I mean, no one is going to care if Radhika Apte says, I'll only work for 6 hours or 4 hours or 2 hours or whatever, because at the end of it all, cinema is commerce. It has to bring in the money. It has to get people into theaters. And there are very few leading ladies who can achieve that. And certainly Priyanka and Deepika are in that category. So they can afford to say it, and I'm sure it will change things gradually for the others. But so far, even Hollywood has not been able to crack that. The top stars in Hollywood can go on and on and on about the pay difference or pay parity and so on. They've been bleating about it for the last 10, 15 years. What? Nothing has changed. Nothing. So they turn producers and then lose some more money.
But at the same time, something may have changed, because like the top actresses today are mothers, like Alia and Deepika, Priyanka. They're like their mothers, right?
Yes.
So I don't think this was a case like earlier as much.
I'm not sure. I mean, motherhood isn't exactly an affliction or a disease, and so long as you deliver on screen, and the girls do, Kareena.
But the perception has changed.
Has it? I'm not sure. I mean, the older stars, like, for example,
like Madhuri had to, bow out.
She stepped out of it for 12 years, and then jumped right back in a different
avatar.
But I'm not at all convinced or sure whether Katrina will be able to make that leap. I'm not sure after her baby. I'm not sure whether Kiara Advani people still will look at her in the same way now that she's a mother.
Right.
These actresses that you singled out are exceptional on screen, and they deliver in commercial terms. So it's a different kind of story. I don't think people think motherhood when they look at Alia.
Right.
And they have bounced back very quickly. They're back in the game. They're very much alive to their own possibilities and kind of work they wish to do, and in a position to dictate that.
Would you say, actors are not that politically correct? I mean, right now they are very politically correct. Like before, maybe they were more carefree and more bindas. Like, maybe Dharmendra could get away with, marrying Hema Malini, So I don't think that would happen today. Do you think?
Well, there are two things that have always defined Bollywood. There's the ecosystem, and then there's the ecosystem. When right now it's the ecosystem at work. So each star, the ones who have that kind of power in the business, are preserving that. They really don't care about anyone else. It's about themselves. So, and their PR companies, and there's a lot riding on it. In the old days, they didn't have endorsements from international brands. They barely got maybe endorsements from some local products, were not paying them that much. And most of the money was coming from pan masala ads and toothpaste commercials or soaps like Vinod Khanna and Synthol. I remember that ad. It's a different ball game today, and they are managed. They are entities that are managed by a whole team that advises them. So the old days of Dharmendra are over. Forget it. But I'm sure there will always be a few who will take that risk and break out of even the ecosystem that says, keep your mouth zipped, say nothing except politically correct stuff. So the silence over, for example, the success of Dhurandhar from certain camps. There's not a word about, you should be able to have enough confidence to compliment a colleague. If you're a confident star yourself, by not saying something, you're showing insecurity. By saying something doesn't demean you, it enhances who you are.
Suppose if I ask you a quick rapid fire, Ranveer Singh.
You know, the hotness. I hate saying stuff like that. I hate it. He's just one of our most, I can say it in a sentence.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He is multi-dimensional. To see him in Lutera, you see him doing that, then you see him in Rocky and Rani. He is by far one of our most versatile, most committed, most intelligent actors.
Okay, Shahid.
Yeah. Also intense, amazing, versatile, highly intelligent, very articulate, and has a life beyond Bollywood, which is the best thing about Shahid.
Okay, Amir Khan.
Again, it's the intensity. And he's a maverick. I like the fact that he takes chances with his love life. He does exactly what he wants with his whole persona. The way he dresses, the choice of films, what he commits when he is making a film himself, exceptional. He's in a league of his own.
Shah Rukh.
Shah Rukh is a machine, and a very self-aware machine, highly intelligent, and for himself.
Deepika.
Fragile, but also knows her strengths extremely well, and knows how to play into her fragility as well. And on screen, she is absolutely, she's divine. To watch her dance, to her early movies, I can watch them all the time, especially her, the one with Ranveer, where they were dating or courting each other. Yeah, the Ram Leela. Yeah. She exquisite, just exquisite. Her limbs, her eyes.
Yeah.
I didn't like her in her first film at all. I'd written her off, quite happily written her off. I don't think she and Shah Rukh made a good combo, but then they made a good combo when she came back as some espionage Pakistani.
Happy New Year, they did. Chennai Express.
Chennai Express, I liked them both. They worked. No, the Farah Khan film.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Terrible. Bad film.
Okay. What about Ananya Panday?
I don't know. She's kind of at the right place at the right time with the right projects, especially international brands, because she could be any girl, she could be any woman. There's no distinct personality that makes her stand out or stand apart. Maybe her talent has to be yet explored, but so far, as an actor, except for that one film which I liked her in, which is a very edgy film, where she's
this Call Me Bae was
not Call Me Bae. That was quite pathetic.
Control.
No, where it's a very Gen Z film with
Kho Gaye Hum Kahan.
That's the one with a complicated title.
Right.
But she was very good in that. I liked her very much in that. Maybe she needs some such kind of project that goes beyond Barbie dolling her. And I think that's very unfair to her because of the way she is, her body language and all of it.
So I wanted to take you back to your old days, to the Stardust days. So we've literally grown up on Stardust, and we've grown up on Nita's Natter. So can you tell us what those days were like and what the stars were like? What was that time like?
Let me put it this way: the stars were actually stars. They were stars. They were larger than life, and in a way there was despite the no social media, the access to the stars was so easy. I mean, they didn't have a whole team guarding them like their national treasures and deciding who they can talk to and how much they can talk about something, or giving them scripted interviews and saying, stick to this, a brief. They could be themselves, which is why each one of them had a distinct identity. I mean, a Rajesh Khanna was a Rajesh Khanna, and Amitabh was an Amitabh, Vinod Khanna was Vinod Khanna, Dharmendra was Dharmendra, Jitendra was Jitendra, etc. They had their slots, they had their niche, and they were part, at least from the outside, of a community. And they were just more human, more identifiable, and access, like I said. All it took, they all just had one manager or one secretary who would decide their appointments. So you could get to speak to them without filters. Now there's no such thing. It's all so manipulated. Soon they'll probably have AI answering all their questions if they don't already.
Like if you had to do Anita's data today, who would you pick and what would you write?
Every single one of them. Because they're all up for, I mean, I see them as, it's almost like a parody when I see their reels. The only one who I completely and unabashedly like, and liked from the time she came on the scene, I'll always be her champion. There are two people. One is Rakhi Sawant. She's the OG. And the other one is Uorfi Javed. I like them both. They have guts. They have individuality. They are survivors. They know they're doing what they're doing, why they're doing it. They both were so clear when I met them, Rakhi a few times, Uorfi maybe 5 times, that they knew they didn't stand a chance in Bollywood, in mainstream Bollywood. Not even as item girls, not even as sidekicks, not as nothings. And they both had families to feed. So how did they do it? They were not qualified to do anything else. They didn't have the education, no family background. They were not Nepo kids. How do they survive? They use their imagination to create these personas. Rakhi, her persona, Uorfi, her persona with those clothes and so on that she wore. And I admire them. They're who they are. They're not pretending to be anything else.
Big Boss was their way in, I guess.
What else can they do?
Yes.
It was their moment to be at least recognized and to be seen. And after that, whatever they did was, full marks to them.
Right. When you in those Stardust days, like, what made you become a film journalist?
I didn't choose.
Yeah.
I didn't choose. It kind of chose me. I was a copywriter.
Yeah. You were a model before that.
Yes, for 5 years. I enjoyed that very much. Got to travel, got to earn, pocket money and so on. And I was working as a copywriter when the agency head decided, I went actually to tell him that I wasn't enjoying copywriting. So he said, what about hanging in there? Because I'm planning to start a whole lot of magazines, starting with Stardust. Do you want to give that a go? And I said, I don't watch Hindi films. I didn't. Very few, actually. Oh, did I mention Mughal Azam as one of the most romantic films?
Yes,
all right, okay. So, Pakiza too, by the way. He said that doesn't matter because my magazine is not based on that formula or that format. It's not a film fair. It's not Star and Style. It's completely different. The idea that he was breaking the rules and doing something different attracted me. I said, I'll give it a shot. And I did. And stayed for the next 11, 12 years.
Okay, so if you weren't a journalist, what would you have been?
An architect, but I would have had to qualify for that. But I find architecture extremely romantic and inspiring. Maybe because I was in love with Howard Roark for the longest time after reading The Fountainhead, where it's a fantastic portrayal of architecture, an architect, his vision, his dreams. And I also had Charles Correa, one of our great architects, Indian iconic architect, who was a neighbor. So I grew up with a huge crush on him. So that was very inspiring. I would have liked to become an architect, maybe just to impress Charles Correa, but it didn't happen.
So who else were your idols?
Hardly any. Elvis Presley then and Elvis Presley now. He's carved, he lives inside my heart. I am Elvis Presley most of the time in my head too, because his birthday is one day apart from mine.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Your books. have always been like bold and unfiltered, ahead of its time. So, in a male-dominated world, do you ever feel? Were you ever told to like tone down, or were you ever said, what? How did your friends and family react?
To start with, a male-dominated world. Sorry, I dominate my own world. I mean, I've always defined my own world. So that was never a yardstick for me that I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm in this male-dominated world and what are they going to think of me? Honestly, I didn't care. I just did what I wanted to do, and I tried to do it so that I enjoyed what I was doing, and I still do. So I've been writing in the public domain now without an interruption, with no gap, for 54 years.
Yes.
And I still feel very excited about each column or a new book, or I've done scripts. I've done many things in the writing space. I've done many things in my life, and I've enjoyed all of them.
Right.
I've designed saris. I love that too for Satyapal. I mean, that whole range, people still ask me. They still have those. They still ask me that, why don't you go back to it? But, one moves on.
You were an artist before.
I used to paint. I would still go back to that.
Yes.
I used to sing in the choir, but now my voice, no, I doubt I could.
You were an athlete once as well.
I was a state level athlete. Now,
Yes.
at my age, that is not an option. I can't suddenly say to myself, oh, forget any kind of restrictions, any biases. I'm going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro because I want to. It's not an option.
Yes. So, Mr. Dey features in your book a lot. This one. So, what
Tell me about it. I mean, he just creeps into every book. It's not planned.
Okay.
Even in this book, he's emerged as some sort of a hero, some superstar in my life. And I keep telling him, calm down, because he's suddenly, 6 inches taller. His chest is, 5 inches broader, and he walks into a room, he's feeling so good. So I said, well, okay, let him feel good, because some of it must be true.
So what did he say about the book?
He knows it by heart.
Okay.
Especially his portion.
Yes.
He loved it. He thinks it's one of my best books. I don't know about best and things, but it's certainly a book that was that has a lot of meaning for me, because it's not a light subject. I did not look at it as a halka pulka subject. Intimacy and love is actually what drives all of us, but we don't want to talk about it, deal with it. It makes us uncomfortable. I've never understood why. And we always want to sweep it under the carpet. But like someone said recently while introducing me at some event, ShobhaaDe didn't bother to sweep it under the carpet at all. She just knocked off the carpet itself and said, forget it, doesn't exist. It's a good way to put it, because I was never aware of that carpet, no matter what I wrote in all my life. I was writing my truths and hoping that those would travel and communicate themselves, but not thinking restrictions, not thinking shock value, not thinking how are people going to respond. That's not my problem, how they respond. I'm prepared to take whichever the response is. I'm not about to write a memo, this is how my book should be read. Read it as you please, like it or don't. And that's true for, I think, any creative person. You can't have that kind of hypersensitivity about your work. Once it's out there, it's out there. Take what comes with it.
So what's the best compliment you ever got?
Oh gosh, I don't know. The one I'm craving, I can tell you.
Yes. And from whom?
And from whom. The only compliments I crave, I live for, I beg, but they don't come from my children.
Okay.
My censor board. I'll have to beg some more.
But they feature in this book. I mean, very briefly.
They do. They do. But they don't really read my books. They're not that interested. They may look at their lives, the lines that are about themselves, and then say, oh, okay, 3 lines, 5 lines. I said, go write your own book. Yeah, their compliments are really hard to come by. So if even one of them says, say they attend a LitFest session of mine, and I'm always nervous about what are they going to think, if I can spot them in the audience. They don't always attend. And if at the end of it, I get WhatsApp messages saying, Mom, you were like amazed, or, thumbs up, or clap, 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 and all that. I can live off that for months. Months, years. Yeah.
But what sort of a parent are you? Are you a very strict person, parent?
Not anymore. They're huge, big hulks. What am I going to be strict with 50-year-olds and 40-year-olds?
No, but
But I'm not
earlier.
a cool mom. No, that I'm not. I'm not one of those saying, give me a drag and things. No. Not at all. Or get me a tequila shot or 4 more shots or what. No, not at all. I like to maintain a certain distance. So does my husband. They're to first respect us as parents, and everything else follows after that.
How do you look the way that you do?
I was hoping you'd avoid that question because I cannot tell you now. It no longer irritates me or bothers
But is it your attitude or?
I think it's being born into the right gene pool. I can't take credit for any of it. You should have seen my dad when he was close to 100. So it's the Maharashtrian gene, I would say, or my family gene rather. And but you don't abuse what you're born with. That's the other principle. And I guess as a model, there are certain disciplines that I learned from a very young age, 16 or 17. And basically, that's about it. And if people keep asking me, what is your secret and so on, I have it in my handbag and I can show it, but my handbag is not very accessible. I never leave home without a jar of Pond's cold cream. It's what I've used my whole life. It works for me. It may not work for someone else, but more than anything else, you have to feel good about yourself. A woman or a man, if you're not happy with the person you are, if you don't like your life, you can be technically a very, very beautiful human being to look at physically. But your unhappiness or frustration or even your conceit and arrogance, at some point when that shows up, any of these qualities, it takes away a lot from your personality. And after a certain age, it's really, aura farming. I like that too. I like that word. I like that term. I like that term. So I guess the word is aura. Some people are happy with their own aura and therefore it communicates itself. You have to be happy with yourself, basically.
Okay. So essentially, I would say attitude is a big...
Attitude has negative connotations. Like a lot of our young stars with nothing to really give them much credit for, no great achievements, but I would give them an award for attitude. For what? I don't know, but they have it.
Right.
So the red carpet, the way the swag, the way they pose, and wow, I said, where is that coming from? Attitude. I don't know. I think it's a very open mind, a very receptive mind, and a very curious mind. There's nothing in the world that does not interest me.
Okay.
Nothing. There's no human being in the world who does not interest me. I think we all are great storytellers, but most of the time we are so self-absorbed, we're not interested in the other person's story. That is our loss, because every person has a story.
So what is ShobhaaDe going to do next?
God knows. I mean, right now I'm looking forward to eating chaat and driving back to Mumbai. Mumbai is a different city from where I am right now. And I know I'm going to have biryani for dinner. So it's something I'm looking forward to. But I don't really plan. I'm not one of those who has a clear-cut plan for the next 1 year, 2 years. I got 3-book deal which has been offered to me. I'm not at all sure I want to do it or take on another book. I'm enjoying this book. I want to take time off. I want to go to Morocco, which is on my bucket list. I've never been. So that's lots of things to look forward to, but no plan as such. I've never lived with a plan, and thank God I'm an improvisational artist or a gypsy or maybe just reckless, but I like that I don't know about the people around me, but I don't know any other way to be.
Do you ever get FOMO?
Yeah, I got FOMO 2 evenings ago when my daughter and my granddaughter went off on a Bandra walk. And they said Bandra, which is another city for me too. And they said it was just so amazing. The streets were alive and you could stop off at different places for a hot chocolate or for a drink. And just enjoy people.
Right.
And people watching has always been very big for me. So I'm never bored at airports. If I'm delayed for 5 hours, that's fine. That's 5 more hours I can watch people. It doesn't bother me. So, but I did feel for I said you should have asked.
Okay.
So she didn't ask. So I was
Okay.
expressing my hurt and FOMO.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for being with us. It was such a pleasure
Thanks,
having you here.
Lots of fun. Thank you so much. Your questions were great. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.